it's my contention that of all of the Scrum ceremonies that we have, and each of them has their own very specific purpose. But my contention is that the sprint review meeting is the most important Scrum ceremony as it relates to managing the client relationship. And so, Victoria, can you speak to that a little bit?
Oh, I was on mute. All right.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's like we've been discussing, really, it's that opportunity for that feedback. So beyond that, I mean, of course, it is a progress update. So rather than a team just setting out to accomplish a goal, to build a product, and then, months and months and months go by, and then we don't check in with a client or with a stakeholder, then what happens is you would get to the end of that product development, you've reached the end of the timeline and you're ready to deliver. And then there might be some things that even if we did build what we set out to build, but then kind of seeing it all come together, there might be some areas of improvement that we were just too up close to really notice. So having those routine check-ins and that, again, really short feedback loop is a really good opportunity to get client and stakeholder feedback early on in the process and just throughout the whole process, so we can iterate on it very quickly, and we can stay within that timeline and not realize things just at the very end, just to have that real-time iteration.
Right. No, definitely. I think that's a great point. Like, as you said, Victoria, it ensures that we don't get too far down the line and then figure out, we've gone astray from the client's vision. I also think too, the sprint review meeting is also important, sort of from that perspective of building this relationship as a partnership, right? So every time we come to the table at the sprint review meeting, in a sense, it gives us, space to collaborate with the partner, and for them to feel like, they're actively involved in the development process, which I think goes a long way in developing a lasting partnership.
It's also just exciting to see the working software,
right,
come together. Yeah, everyone loves to see the demo,
right.
and it just builds that momentum, I think, on both sides, client side and team side.
Right.
Yeah, it's almost like I liken it to like new construction. If you're building a home and you go and you see like the foundation laid, and you might see the plumbing, there. You come back in a couple of weeks, it's framed out, and slowly but surely that house gets built. So it's kind of like witnessing that. So it's good. I think a book that I recently read, it referenced something called the Rule of 60. And if I might screw this up, but according to this rule of 60, for every degree off, and for every, I guess, and this has to do with sailing, I think. So for every degree off, and for every, I think, I don't know if it was 24 hours or whatever, or some certain period of time, maybe it's every hour. So for every degree, you are, you'll travel 60 miles off course per hour, or whatever the time was. And so, having these sprint review meetings with the stakeholders, with the partner, with the client, presents the ability not only for us to share, with the progress, or share with the client, the stakeholder, the progress that we're making, but also, again, it's that critical feedback loop that, if we are getting anything wrong, or wrong isn't necessary, because that's kind of binary, something's correct or it's incorrect. If our interpretation of the requirements are slightly askew of the client partner, then we can resolve that and reconcile that, and get back on course. And so that's a super critical element of Scrum. Now that we've sort of, determined that, sprint review meetings, are a critical element, in